Got everything? Everyone's ready?
Ready.
Okay.
I like this top. I've been like digging like this top.
Oh, thank you. Thrift store.
It is nice. Oh, you got the little
I
gold
broke
chain?
the button, y'all. I literally stepped on it by accident.
Really?
Anyway, and broke the button off.
That's insane. Annoying.
Hey, okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold. Unlocking the door with the holy key. You supposed to be this close to me, and hopefully you understand G.O.D. Maybe this cold and I'm talking like no degrees. This ain't a fluke. I seen it way before it ever happened. He gave me the view. I had to put in my time on the TV. It coming in soon. I couldn't leave it all up to a variant or an experience. You gotta get up and do what it do. So complicated, homie, it's you. Always gonna wait until you in the mood.
Welcome to the Consequences of Our Culture podcast, where we discuss various issues and topics through the lens of the best. I'm talking about I can't even explain. We got Stephanie here and we got Amber here, and like the knowledge, the magnitude is just it's crazy.
So
My name's
extra.
Randall. I'm just here to observe. Today's topic is something that I've wanted to talk about for the last few episodes. Actually, this might be our first episode. Today's topic is a part one because we want to do a part two with another member who's not here. Is men versus women. Who has it harder? Part one. All right. And this is fun because it's like a little debate or whatever. So, if I asked you, if I walked up to the street, up to you on the street, Steph, and I was like, you know what? If you could choose your gender, which everyone does now anyway, if you could choose what you want to be, would you want to be?
Don't be like Dave Chappelle, the letter people.
Yeah.
I mean, you canceled on our first. You canceled on the first episode.
Cut these
Oh my
notes
God.
out. No. All right. Who would you? What would you think would be the better gender to be?
Man, if I had to choose, I'd be a woman because that's what I am now. That's all I know, and
That's all I know.
Okay.
yeah, I don't want to be a man.
What
Yeah,
do you think?
I like doing girly things.
Right.
Who do you think has it harder?
Okay, now that is
Okay.
now that I would say
Gotcha.
is that's something that I don't think either gender has it.
Women.
Okay, yes, that's the easy answer. Yes, that is the easy answer. But at the end of the day, we all have our different struggles. Whether the men even realize it, because a lot of the stuff that they are trying to, this patriarchy they're trying to uphold, it harms them too because of that. I hate to say this buzzword, but the toxic masculinity. There's nothing wrong with the masculinity. It's when it's toxic that it's a problem. And it's harming y'all too. And y'all are the ones upholding it. This whole not being able to express your emotions, not being able to communicate, feeling like you got to take on everything and be like this leader that I pay all the bills, I do everything, I protect, I do all. Nobody's saying y'all got to do all that. You're putting all this stuff up on yourselves. And if you really thought about it, the feminist movement, the way that it was originally supposed to be intended, what real feminism is, it helps y'all as well in the long run. It's not just about women.
What's the
I think because when the women are doing well, it is statistically shown that when women are in any society are upheld and not kept down, not if they're being paid for properly for what they're doing and being treated well and not having being in harm's way or not being able to come and tell somebody when they've been assaulted and actually get some help. It's been shown that any society where the women are treated well, it thrives all together. We need each other. Yeah. So that's my little 2 cents.
Yo, so I saw when Steph said, when Steph, and you was like quick, you was like, women! So,
yeah, I meant that shit from my heart and my soul, from my pinky soul.
And I understand. I totally understand. Yeah.
And why
because
there's
there's miscellaneous things, small miscellaneous things that we have to deal with. Y'all got to deal with just childbirth and periods. Simple thing y'all have to deal with. Every month I got to deal with my period. I have an attitude. I'm breaking out. Like, I'm irritable. I'm hungry.
Eating all the junk food you're trying not to eat because you're trying to eat healthy, but you can't.
And I got to deal with that for like 30 fucking years. That's literally a thing that I have to deal with. Childbirth, the whole body changes. I mean, my feet gonna grow. I might not even wear the same size shoe. Yeah. These are small things that I have to deal with.
My friend, she can't wear none of her shoes anymore.
It happens.
After she
had kids, like they never went back down.
Yeah, so these are things, it's not a big deal, but these are small things that happen.
That was a big deal.
In the workforce, we get paid less. That comes from like the barefoot and pregnant days where men were the breadwinners, so society thought they're taking care of all the bills, so they're supposed to be paid more. And that began with all of that. So we can do the same thing, get less praise as well as less pay. So, like, it's just a lot of rules, too. We got to wear a bra everywhere we go. My favorite thing to do every day, take my bra off and let my titties stand on my motherfucking chest. Right. Y'all got to do that. Right. And you can say... Preach. And y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, and it won't be a negative connotation of a hole being attached to you. And if it is... it's for a very brief period of time, and it's almost like a badge on your chest if a man's considered a hoe, because I mean, he's off. Yeah, it's a badge of honor. If a woman does something trivial and small, she's considered a hoe. I will mention the Lori Harvey situation. Okay. Yes. She's dating multiple men, and every time she leveled up, and she's considered a hoe. But when Future got baby mamas everywhere, nothing. I hear no buzz.
Men admire him.
I consider Future a hoe.
And they admire him.
They legit admire him.
That nigga's a hoe. I mean, it is what it is.
But he's not negative judge. There's no article saying this man is a hoe. There's not any comments under his photos, you're a hoe. Like, women get that. Yeah. Women have more negative stigma to deal with.
I feel like in that situation.
And we gotta look a certain way.
Okay.
There's so many more things that societal things that we have to do to just fit into the norm. Otherwise, we are judged negatively. And negative judgment doesn't fall off of us like it does males.
Having emotions isn't good. Like, you can't ever be seen crying like in the workplace. You better suck it up. Like, you cannot be seen crying.
And I actually had a debate with a classmate in one of our my classes at school, and his statement was that the workforce has gone down, and I will say this: women joining the workforce is what brought down the households.
Yes, I've heard that too.
So, and he firmly believes that this is not an old man; this is a younger male. Just want to go ahead and put that out there. I mean, he could have been taught older ways of why women are important in the household, but these are these things that they suddenly fall apart because a woman is not doing this, that, and the third.
Okay, so to touch on a couple of these, so when a man has multiple women, you're saying like, or let's say a man sleeps with multiple women, right? You're saying it doesn't reflect negatively on him necessarily, versus if a woman sleeps with a bunch of men, then she's looked at, worse, right?
Yeah, and that stays with her for a very extended period of time.
Do you feel like it, but do you not feel like it has something to do with like the roles of men and women, like in sex, right? So if I wanted to have sex with a woman, is me asking for permission pretty much, right? In most situations. It's me like being a conqueror, and it's more so the woman being the one conquered, correct? Like the woman ultimately.
You're putting a body part in her. Her body part has
and she has to consent to that, correct?
Agree. Like if somebody comes to your house, you can't just walk the fuck in.
Right.
You gotta
consent to that, right? So, doesn't it look bad if a woman consents to so much, But wouldn't it look good to me if I conquered so much? You see what I'm saying? It's more of the roles.
Well, and I think but I feel like that is something that society has made it okay. That is like the fact that they have said that is your role. And nobody said that. There's nowhere that says that there's an official book that says that a man's role is to conquer, and that that's what you're doing when you are having sex, that you are conquering something. And you're
it's
not.
the men, but usually it's the men that's approaching women for sex. That's how it's. That's how it is.
There still has to be some consent though on the man's side. As well, you can be conquered,
I look at you and I know I want to have sex. I'm like, yeah. So, but you ultimately have to say so, and the more permission you give makes you seem less attractive because you're giving permission to all these men.
But go ahead.
And the more yeses I get, makes me look good because I've worked so hard to get these yeses. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
No, I really don't.
Oh my fucking goodness.
I get what you're saying in the sense I hear what you are saying. You deserve
accolades for
no, I'm basically saying that it doesn't look as bad for men because they have to work for sex, right? They can't, versus us women, we can sit back and we're going to be approached and we can say, no, not you, go.
Right. You ever heard the key in the whole
versus thing? Men, they have to work and they have to keep asking, hey, would you, all right, no, okay. You, no, okay. You, yes, okay. There's one, okay. And then they keep going. So it's seen as he's saying it's it's seen differently.
If I have a high number, that's because I put in a lot of fucking work.
Right.
But if a woman
make you look bad.
If a woman has a high number, that means she just gave herself a shit ton of time.
That means she's probably said no 1,000 times instead of no 100 times. That's the thing.
What? But in my opinion,
she said no a lot of times. If a woman has a lot of offers, that means she's attractive, and she's probably saying no often.
Yeah. But
so it's like you're discounting
however many yeses she gives, that's how many times she's opening up to someone.
So I guess it would have to be a ratio. It would have to be how many does she say yes to?
Yo, I am
and how many do we have?
And I apologize.
Yeah. It should be like a ratio. If she had, what number to you would you say is bad, right? If somebody had a number of 10, say they had
you want to do this.
I'm just saying what if a woman has slept with has had 10 partners, right?
Okay.
And say she's 25. We'll say she's 25 and she has had 10 partners. And some people would consider that's too high, right? But what if she was approached 100 times, and out of that 100 times, she only said yes?
She had extensive relationships with each one of these people.
Yo, I could spend it the same way. What if what if I went to 100 women and only got 10 yeses? And and I'm 25 and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm saying I don't know.
Why are you looking
the
at me
thing
so
is, here's the thing. I guess what we're trying
I'm not
to
doing
say.
Injustice to my people.
Well, no, you are.
I apologize.
I see what you're saying, but the thing is, whether what you're saying makes sense or not, it's not so much that we don't get it. It's that it's more so that we don't care. It's still at the end of the day.
Yeah, thank you.
It's still to us, it doesn't matter. It's okay, yeah, I said yes however many times.
Yeah, so?
That still should not make me as much of a hoe or any more of a hoe than somebody else.
When you ask 100 bitches, and
it's just to me doesn't I see what you're saying. We do, but it's just and at the end of the day, everybody should be able to do what they want to do and not have there should not be this double standard, because I feel and the more we're talking, I'm really about to lean more on her side, because I'm but really at the end of the day, when you think about it though, actually no, I will say what I said earlier, that it's really not a 50-50 necessarily, but I think that there isn't necessarily one gender that has it harder over the others. It's who's able, in both genders, if you're able to assimilate, right? If you're, as a woman, if you can keep your numbers down, you're beautiful, you know how to cook, you can clean and all that, right?
And that's our checklist of things to do.
Yeah, then you know you're able to, in this society, be a high value woman. You can get any man you want, and you're going to be seen as like the best thing ever, right? And then the same on the man, okay? If you got a good job, you have a degree and everything, you're able to provide, you have a house, you know, you're out there, you are, you know, taking care of business, and you made the money, you come home and you got this beautiful wife and she's taking care of the home and the kids, and you're that provider and that protector and everything. If you're able to have those two roles, then you're great in this society. You can thrive. But on both sides, both genders, if you do not fit into that like bubble, if you as a man are seen as someone who's too sensitive, like if you cry, if you have any emotions,
I can't
you can't fit.
sensitive.
Yeah, you can't fit into that.
You can't with the right.
You know what I'm saying?
You ever seen me cry? I know you. I'm joking. I knew you was gonna do that.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that basically there isn't one that necessarily has it.
Yeah, because neither one of us can cry.
Yeah, it's like both. It's like everybody has it hard.
You're insensitive.
Everybody has it hard, just in different ways.
I feel like society. I'm not saying me. Society. When it sees a woman crying, doesn't necessarily attack it as much as they see a man crying. It's kind of like
as a weakness.
The fuck is wrong with you? Stop
and women are seen automatically as weak, so we're allowed to cry because we're weak. Creatures, in air quotes for y'all that can't see me right now. I do not believe women are weak, but we are seen in society as weak, these weak creatures that need saving, that need protecting, that can't do things for themselves, can't think for themselves and all of that. I mean, it's just, I don't know if I want to be saved.
Yes.
I'm too proud.
I feel like am I proud of myself? Yes. Do I want a man to step in and want to do that also? Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean it definitely feels good when I think anybody would like that when somebody comes in and wants to cater to them or make them feel good and all of that. But it will definitely be out of want and not need. Like when I say I have too much pride or I'm too proud for that, it's more so I'm too prideful. Like it's more of my ego. Like I don't like being submissive, right? Okay. Like that's something that is is the buzzword right now. Everybody's talking about, and everybody has their own ideas of what being submissive means. And for me, it's like, well, I don't mind submitting, but to the right man. And I also don't like if you're coming and you're already like, we're like, you're getting to know a man or whatever, like y'all in that talking phase, and you already telling me, yeah, I need you to you need to cook. Like I don't like if you tell me what I have to do. I want to do it because it's something that I want to do because out of love for you and for our family and what we're building, I'm going to cook for you. Yeah. I'm going to make sure you got your whatever, your slippers or something, your favorite, slides when you get home, and your robe and all that because out of love, not because I feel
and that's a wife's duty.
And definitely. I'm talking about wife.
You wouldn't do that as a girlfriend?
No.
Especially
because I feel like then they don't need to marry you.
Not consistency at all.
Man, I got side chicks.
That's why we're side chicks.
Well, you enjoy your side chicks.
That's exactly why we're side chicks and not a main.
Right. But it's like
I ain't got no side chicks.
It's like you don't mind. I don't mind doing those things, but.
You say side chicks, that's nice.
I mean, I don't mind doing those things, but it's just, I don't like when it's made out that I have to do it because of my gender. And so it's just, it's
exhausting.
It really is. And
I
will
gotta
say,
sit here and cook, I gotta clean, I gotta dick you down 3 to 5 business days a fucking week and still handle my full-time job.
Did you say dick you down?
Yes.
You don't dick, they dick you down.
Get dick down, excuse me.
Yeah, get dick down.
I ain't used to put no strap on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to alarm anybody. but yes.
Take your man down.
What I mean?
Yeah, I gotta ride dick off into the sunset 3 to 5 business days a week for my man while still having my full-time job watching my kids. and doing all these miscellaneous things.
Typically, and you're not gonna have a full-time job because they're expecting you to cook and clean and take care of the kids.
Yeah,
and all that
which is just like unattainable.
That's no longer a societal norm, though. Is it?
It really, I feel like it isn't, but there is like I'll say there is a subgroup of men that are trying to bring that back for sure.
They still expect
that are like trying to.
They think
they're trying to like
I'm gonna work too hard.
They want the woman to be that submissive, partner or whatever that's gonna, cater to them and all that. But it's just so. I mean, at the end of the day, in the way the society is built, if we had to choose, okay, I think I'm backpedaling here. If I absolutely had to choose who has it harder, I will say it is women. Only because we have health things too that we have to deal with on top of the society stuff.
Cool. So approaching, so let's say igniting a relationship, approaching someone. Who do you feel like has it harder, women or men? I could say.
In the approaching?
Yeah, like approaching you don't know this person, they're attracted to you, they come up to you. I feel like it's harder for a man in that situation because I feel like
it's expected, but I do get that it can be more difficult.
Yeah, I feel like
I have to come up there, and I have to have something unique because if she's a beautiful woman, she's heard all these lines so I have to come up there with my sweaty palms and I have to have some good content already, and then approach her and still face the possibility of rejection,
Or you could just tell the truth.
No, it could be the truth. Game could be the truth. No, game could be the truth. I'm like, hey, hey, Mom, you got some nice eyes and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you can't say nothing that basic because she's heard it before,
Then you say, you've probably heard this before, but...
Yeah, I do.
I think you're attractive.
I do thought that you probably heard this before. Oh, no, I never heard this before. I was like, okay, so...
But if I hear you forming a pickup line, I'm already like, what the fuck is happening?
But yeah, I do think that those things are harder, but also that's something that men put into place.
Y'all, we put into place?
Yeah.
How?
I feel like y'all run everything. Yeah, y'all run everything. Everything that we have in society, the way it is built, is y'all, and we may reinforce a lot of things that you guys have put in place. But at the end of the day, y'all did it. And then this whole thing of y'all wanting to be the leaders and you want to be this head, and run everything. But y'all are running it in the ground, honestly. You're messing yourselves up and you're messing the rest of us up. And instead of putting these, you're putting these things on yourself that nobody said you had to do. We could have built a society where women would also be able to approach you. Because I get it. I've approached men before, and it is hard. I've done it. I remember this one time in particular, and I got his number, but I think he was just being nice. He never did talk to me after that. But, but I felt good because I was like, I did it. I went and I approached a man and, and I got his number. I feel like y'all run everything. Y'all know that. It's all in the music. It's a man's world.
I really feel so the way that we're made up genetically, right?
It's to pursue. I was just tagging on what she said.
Right. Is to pursue, right? If I sat here and waited for a woman to approach me, I'd never get approached.
You would.
Yeah,
once
I'm
every
just saying that we have made that the norm. Y'all have.
You know what? We're gonna take a quick break. It'll be super quick for you guys because it'll be like a cut. But we'll continue this amazing conversation, and I'll reveal my pick, and I'll try to do justice for my guys. All right.
Yeah, you need Burks.
Yeah, I do. Welcome back to the Consequences of Our Culture podcast. This special topic is part one of probably a 2 or 3 part series. I haven't decided because I need more time to come up with more shit. But it is men versus women. Who has it harder? I do apologize for doing a disservice to all the brothers out there. You know, there's only one of me. There's 2 of these. We had another one. You know, he's going through something. You know, pray for us. All right. So, I think we talked about approaching.
You were about to say something.
Yeah.
Because you're basically, so we want to know then, because it sounds like to us that you're leaning towards that men have it harder. And we'd like to hear the reasons why you think men have it harder.
The reasons I think.
I mean, I really would like to hear your perspective.
Well, I can name a few reasons socially that, like, I feel like people don't, like, take into it as consideration. So, a man is supposed to be what? The provider and the protector. Society. Well, you know, through society's lens. The man's supposed to be the provider and protector. If you cannot protect your woman, she will probably leave. If you cannot provide for, you know, your family, she will probably leave and take the kids. You feel me? So that is something that society puts on us, and it's stressful. I mean, sometimes to, like, you know, knowing that everything's on your back, but it doesn't bother me, but it's kind of like, you know what, I'm just playing. I do think women have it harder. I was playing devil's advocate, but no, I would hate to be a woman. Like, I would hate it. I wouldn't want to be a woman.
Yeah, you always talk about provide.
Yo, I've had...
Right, it's like the kids. You have to provide for you. Like, you have to think for y'all sometimes.
Cause from my experience, because, you know, I dated a few people, you guys are way more emotional. You know, it feels, I'm not saying everyone is, but it feels like, to me, there's 2 types of people. There's a creature of reason and a creature of emotion. And it feels like a majority of women, you know, seem to be creatures of emotion rather than reason. And, like, you know, that's why my car is...
It seems like that to you. We have valid reason. We explain it. You just...
Yeah.
But stuff happens to me. Like, so, cheating, right?
If something happens to you, you voice how you feel.
Right, I voice how I feel. And I'm good with that. And, like, I don't, like, get upset. I don't, like, break people's car windows.
Some of y'all do.
You don't break car windows?
No.
Okay, that's good.
But I've never vandalized someone's property.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, remember that wasn't her.
Yeah, that was a friend. I got you.
But you know men do that too.
Yeah.
Y'all be turning to stalkers.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like every man.
Because I've had a man vandalize my property. I've never done it to them.
I'm not saying every man and every woman. I'm saying the majority of times, right?
Okay.
Like a lot of times, like a dude would just be like, you know, she cheat, fuck her. You know, it's like, fuck that bitch. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about her ever again. That'd be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time, y'all drive a woman to do that.
I cheat.
Yeah.
I cheat and I lose everything. Like, just everything's gone. You feel me? So, you understand? So,
That's what y'all deserve.
That's what we deserve?
If you cheat and something negative happens.
Well, yeah. It's a cheater, a person who cheats, it doesn't matter man or woman. You know that's wrong. You were saying earlier that you feel like, what do you feel like men feel like they want to be forgiven for the cheating?
I do. Okay, so yes, we were having a conversation outside of this podcast when we were speaking about, I was saying that when in a relationship and a man cheats, and often the woman forgives the man and they try to like get over it. You know, even if like a woman were to go to a friend, like they won't be like, you know, fuck him, leave him. In a lot of cases, they're like, you know, what happened? You know, how can we get over this? It's normally a situation like that where we have to forgive. Even in the olden days, like when men would cheat, they'll have their second family somewhere else, and the woman would have to just be okay with it because they were the provider, as you know, society says they're supposed to be. But if a woman cheat, Fuck that bitch and everything she stand for. Put that bitch on the curb. All that shit. Her life is in shambles. That bitch has to go. I very seldomly. I can't tell you of a situation where I hear, well, yeah, she cheated on me and we worked on it. I have never heard that. Nobody. I hear it the other way around.
I mean, I will say it has happened. I have heard it. I have heard men that have gotten cheated on and they've stayed. But it's a very rare case. Really? Yeah.
No, I feel like if anyone...
He shocked.
Right, it is
because, like, you know, when that shit happened to me, I was like, there's nothing I could do at this point.
Yeah.
I'm fucking out. You know? Like, no.
And I think it's because I think it's the reason why I think women will usually stay is because society has taught us that, like, that's just what, you know, just men can't help it. You know, I've had people tell me, I remember somebody telling me, well, men are very visual creatures. They, you know, God created them that way, and we have to help them out by, like, covering ourselves, and they can't, like, really control it. Like, that's just the way that they were created. They're visual, you know, and you can't just have everything hanging out. And I just call BS on that. I just feel like if we can have self-control, because I feel like I'm a very sexual person. Like, it's not just men that walk around and, like, think about sex, like, often. I think about sex all the time.
Yeah, we would have sex just as bad as men.
I think about men. I see them.
I know so.
How can you say that when you don't know how a man feels, though? Like, you can't
I feel like y'all really don't think about sex as much as women do. I really feel I genuinely feel like women are actually more sexual, but it's just that society has made y'all be
for
these,
other
like,
men because I can't say how they feel, but I think about sex a shit ton. Like a shit, it would be impossible. I feel like it'd be impossible, and this is how I feel. I can't say that you think, you know, just as much or just as less, but how I feel like it would be impossible for another person to think about his sex as much as I do. Like,
no, we can have sex way longer and more often than y'all can. So we actually do want it more.
But you can't say we think about sex just as much as men. You can't.
I mean, I don't know if we'll ever truly know that answer.
You can't know.
But I do. But for me, I personally
enjoy it more than y'all think.
I'm not saying that you.
I'm not saying that. Like, you don't enjoy it, but like thinking about it, like
talking about thinking about it, like being sexual creatures.
Yeah, if you
look, we want to have sex just as bad.
If you look around, like especially when I was in my 20s, if you look around the structure of my life, it was evolved around somehow getting sex. Like, it was like, what can I do? Like, okay, work, make money to buy stuff, to look impressive, so women will have sex with me. Do you understand? Like, that shit was like the objective. There were other minor objectives.
You gotta do it. Like
this was the main mission.
You gotta do the work to have sex.
You played Grand Theft Auto.
Yes, and that's it.
This was that was the main thing of Grand. Even though you wanted to get revenge for someone, that was the whole thing. Having sex. Everything else is like minor missions. Oh, pay your phone bill. Oh, make sure your lights are off. Sex is the priority. So
I think we're all. I don't know who.
The reason why I would say we are very sexual beings as well, and it tags onto what you said earlier. Mm-hmm. You have to do the work to have sex. We don't. All I gotta do, okay. That's all I gotta do. You gotta sit here and go to work and think about all these harebrained schemes or whatever, pinky in the brain shit. I said, okay.
Right.
That's all I gotta fucking do.
It sounds like it was harder for me.
That's the point. I'm agreeing with you. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. That's why I'm saying we don't have to think about it like y'all do because it's gonna come to us so easily.
Okay.
But we have the desire to have sex just as badly as males do.
Yeah, it's just I think it's just done in a different way. Yeah. Like, just because we won't necessarily have sex with everything walking by doesn't necessarily mean that we are not as sexual as y'all. It's just that we are more choosy.
The fact that we will have sex with everything walking by, doesn't that make us more sexual?
No.
Like,
it just means you don't have self-control.
Yeah.
Because
the fact that we are so
I'm saying
so bent on sex that we lose self-control, doesn't that make us more sexual?
No, I think it means you don't have self-control. That's
you said the same thing twice, motherfucker. I get it.
Right, like,
you want me to say yes, I heard.
That's just not having self-control. Because believe me, I think about it often. Like, I think about sex all the time. But I'm just like, I don't even think about, like, wonder what it would be like but it doesn't mean I actually want to act on it and that I'm going to do it. You know, it's like it doesn't necessarily mean that we're not as sexual. Like, I just feel like that society has made it where where we're not supposed to be sexual. We're supposed to be these, you know, beings that, like, you know, like you said earlier, can be conquered. So we're supposed to just keep ourselves and, you know, until we get married or until we find that right one and not have too many numbers. And when you have that constantly in your head that you're not allowed to act on the sexual feelings that you are having, that's what it is. It's not that we aren't sexual. We are literally told all the time from birth, like,
to calm it down.
Yeah, to calm it down. That you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to act on these feelings.
Don't put on that short
So
skirt.
that's really all it is. If y'all were raised the same way, it'd be the same thing. Because there's men who, like, okay, say like in the Christian faith or even in the Muslim faith, whatever, like, that are taught the same way, like, that, you know, we're supposed to wait until marriage. And there are men out there who are virgins or who waited until they were married, and they may have been married in their early 20s. Up until that point, I'm sure they thought about sex all the time, but they didn't have sex with everything walking by. They had that self-control, just like women can have self-control until they were married. So, I mean, it's not something that's impossible, and it's not something that's, like, ingrained in just y'all, like, oh, because you're a man, you cannot control and you have to have sex when you want to have sex. It's just all about not having self-control.
And we give off sex, like we do. Like, you can walk down the street and you just let them know, you know that woman's giving off sex.
Yeah, and I know I'll do certain things just to
Wait,
you know,
say that again?
drive them crazy.
If you see a woman, I won't say it like a streetwalker. If you see a woman at a certain location and she's walking around, like maybe a mall or something like that, you can look at that woman and tell she's giving off sex. I very seldomly can you see a man walking that you don't, not speaking with none of that, and see that he's giving off sex. A woman can give off sex with not opening her mouth. And not even looking your way sometimes. Man, not the same.
Yeah. I do that on purpose sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't even look at them. I know they're looking at me, and I just do little things.
Yeah, we can give off a sexual vibe without opening our mouth, saying a word, or even looking you in the eye. We give it off.
That's one of the fun parts about being married, I will say.
Oh man, that's what you gonna do. Like, lift your shirt up and show me your nipple. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do to show me that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Without opening your mouth, you know?
Mic check. Okay, it still works. All right, so honestly, you know, from the beginning, I did think it was harder to be a woman. And, you know, for me to just give me a chance to state my point. So, first of all, like, you guys have a period, and you guys, like, bleed. It's kind of...
Every 28 days.
Yeah, and it's a lot, you know. I've been married twice, and, you know, like I said, I had multiple women, and I had to deal with that shit, you know. Not, like, as much as you guys had to deal with it, but, like, just, you know...
Yeah.
It's sad. It's terrible. Childbirth. Yeah, glad I don't, you know, have to go through that. That it looks painful. I have three, I have 3 children, and like I was there for each one of them, and yeah, you know.
Crime scene.
Yeah, it looks like a crime scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, most occasions are usually the weaker of the sexes, you know, like if, you know, physically, yeah, physically, right. If, you know, a man's usually much stronger, you know, it's kind of dark right here. There's less chances of a man getting raped outside of prison than a woman. You know, that's something, you know, your safety. There's a lot of, like, social expectations as well. Like, you guys are usually held to have a high standard of beauty, more higher than a man. Like, you know, I could be a little, you know, dirty and dusty and still pick up a couple. You know, no one wants a dusty woman most of the time. And then, yeah, like the, you know, society standards of beauty. And yeah, they expect you guys to like, you know, stick in the house and clean. And that's honestly, that's not what I would
snap back after you had a kid. Don't have no postpartum either.
Oh yeah, just your body, you know, you said something about the feet. Cool, you know, this was very eye-opening, you know.
Yeah.
Very great, very great. Does anyone have anything to add?
Man, be thankful you don't have to stick a tampon up your penis.
And also, I look forward to hearing what our other co-host has to say.
Yeah.
And because I'm just curious of what it is that y'all, you know, have that's.
Yeah, it should be interesting. We'll probably do, you know, part 2, maybe a part 3, probably not. But
I don't know how much more we can talk about this, but
tune in for that. Make sure that you subscribe, like the YouTube. Also, make sure that, you know, you're following us on all social media platforms. That is about all I have. Do you have anything, Steph, remember?
All good over here.
Well, one thing about difficult for being a male. If you're in a homosexual relationship, it will be difficult to have sex whenever you get ready because you have to clean yourself out first.
Okay.
All right. So who has it harder, the top or the bottom?
The bottom, because you have to take stuff to clean yourself out so you don't shit on the person when you're having sex.
That's deep. That's
You can't just write like, I want to have sex right now. You know, you got to prepare for it.
Okay.
Well, that sucks. But that's it for this episode. I'm Randall.
I'm Stephanie.
And we will see you guys later.
Bye. Anal sex.
Bye.
I'ma get into it first. Said I'ma get into it first. Until they put me in the dirt. Said I'ma get into it first. Said I'ma get into it. I can't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze. I can't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze. You cannot stop me, I mean this spinach and broccoli. Termination like I'm Rocky, lift the heavy, no spot please. Body back a beating and I get away scotch-free. And I'ma take control, unbreakable. I sense the face, the shakes is cold, the grace is more. Plus it's really the motivation, so it's thank you so. Point that's on my neck, hard work on my breath. The easy road taking the left, it's on my chest. No time for regrets, faith in the Jimmy like Steph. Shooting is wet like clay, the party ain't maybe this way. I'm taking all of this love to the bank. I'ma deposit and see what it make. Shoot is shooting, so it's reap. I pay the meter, I came in with Peter like Peter on water. I'm stepping in deeper, they know that I'm coming like follow the leader. I'm taking a chance today. Standing inside of the kitchen, I turn on the heater. I'm here to turn on my brothers and sisters and cousins and mothers until my believers get into it first. Said I'ma get into it first. Until they put me in the dirt. Said I'ma get into it first. Said I'ma get into it. I can't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze. I can't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze.
What did you say?
Anal sex.
Yo, did y'all hear static till I touched this or something? Okay, maybe it was just my other headphones.
Man, my best friend, he's gay. And like, he can't just have sex when he wants to. Like, he has to prepare. Like, he has to know when his plug is coming through. And then if he doesn't come through, he's mad that he went through all this shitting before he had sex. Like, he had to go through all that shitting over and over on the toilet. And then all of a sudden, he don't come through when he can't have sex. You know how frustrating that has to be?
Wow.
That's a lot, man.
I'd be so mad.
You know, what about gay guys in prison?
But they probably have great clean colas.
Like, gay guys in prison, it's probably like, it's not as bad for them as it is for everyone else, you know? You know, like, if you find, like, you
I don't know
know,
what you mean.
Oh yeah, like they probably.
like, everyone else is like, man, damn, I just want to fuck a girl.
Yeah.
gay guys has a celly, let's say a gay guy has a gay celly, shit, he might never come out that motherfucker. It's like, hey man, you done missed lunch like 3 days. It's like, is he alive?
When they got married in there.
Right.